Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pod D'Or, the new podcast where we're talking about the Palme d'Or winners, starting with Anora and going all the way back to 1955 with Marty, the first film to win the Palme d'Or. We've got a great panel here with us today. Dylan Van Thine. How you doing, Dylan?
I'm doing great. Yeah, this as picture this is biggest fan who didn't reveal that they watched every single episode until it ended abruptly. I'm very excited to do this. I don't have any interest in the Oscars, but I love Cannes Film Festival. So I think Jack, when we floated this idea, randomly, hey, what if we did one talking about the Palme d'Or winners? I knew I wanted to be a part of it. So yeah, I'm excited. Should be a fun time.
Yeah, very exciting, and I'm glad we got everyone's favorite Canadian on the panel with us. Also on the panel is everyone's favorite sarcastic asshole. It's Alex Martinez. Alex, how you doing? I'm kidding. You're lovely.
It's crazy. I didn't know Picture This had fans. I thought we were just doing it, to be perfectly honest. That's why we stopped. Yeah, it's great. It's good to be back on the channel.
Yep, absolutely. I've got a feeling that's it. So Matthew, our final panelist today, Matthew Chen, everyone's favorite person here. Matthew, how are you?
Great. I'm not ready for today, but I honestly don't know why I'm here. But now that I'm way busier than the last few podcasts, but let's have some fun.
That's fair. And you know what? Life's busy, but we're all glad that you're here, and I think we're gonna have a really good time. But yeah, no, life takes priority over this. So if at any point we end up missing, well, we'll make it up eventually. But yeah, no, I think we can get into the first movie, which is Anora. I should probably get to the banners again. Anora, there we go. Yeah. So, Nora, I realized I should probably do a quick plot summary of these. I should have thought of that beforehand, but whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sean Baker's.
Yes.
No, the segments will not be coming back. We will not be having How Gay Was My Valley or Million Dollar Race or any of the other ones that we did. Apologies to all the Picture Disc fans, though. But no, Anora, Sean Baker's film centering around a dancer named Anora, goes by Annie, who is hired by this young asshole Russian dipshit. I hate Ivan so much in this film. Hired by this kid to essentially be his girlfriend for a week. They go to Vegas, they get married, and the rest of the movie essentially follows them trying to look for Ivan as his bodyguards show up and try to get the marriage annulled on orders of his parents. It doesn't have much of a plot beyond that, but yeah, let's get into it. Dylan, have you seen this movie before? And if so, what were your initial thoughts on it, and did they change on this watch? I guess.
I had, and yeah, I will say I'm not the biggest Sean Baker fan overall. I think I've said that a few times, but I'd previously seen Florida Project, and I had also seen. Was that the only one I had seen? That might have been the only one I've seen. But here's the thing: I for some reason I get what he's doing, where he basically showcases these underrepresented people within the United States, and I think that's really cool. It's just for some reason with a lot of his movies, I don't fully connect to the characters that he writes, which I think is a bit of a hot take. But for this one, it kind of, when I first watched it, I kind of had a similar thing with that, where I just couldn't really fully connect with the characters, and I don't know, for some reason I was very I had a very cynical view, I think, on the central romance of this movie when I first watched it, where I was just I didn't really buy Anora's love for the Mark Eidelstein character Vanya, but on this watch, I actually I realized I was completely wrong. I actually love this movie a lot on rewatch here, even though I think my Letterboxd rating only went up half a star. But for me, that's a big jump from 4 stars to 4.5. Anyways, but yeah, for some reason this time I really connected with it. and I found like all of the like dramatic moments I think hit a lot harder, and all of the comedic moments hit harder for me, even though I'd seen it before. I think Mikey Madison is just so good in this role, and like I don't know, maybe I was just super tired when I first watched it, to where I didn't like fully pick up on everything that everyone was doing in this movie with the performances and stuff. So I don't know, but for some reason this movie just really hit when I watched it this time. And yeah, I think Yuri Borisov is giving it a phenomenal supporting performance as well. Yeah, I'll leave it at that for now because I feel like I've been taking up too much time. So everyone else.
Not at all. Yeah, I also I really like this movie. I love this movie. First time I saw it was with Alex, I believe, and that was my first time ever seeing a Sean Baker movie. So that was an interesting experience. I agree with this. She's probably giving a top 20, top 25 performance of the decade for me. I absolutely love Mikey Madison in this film. Definitely my yeah, no, good to see you too, Adelaide. Definitely my best actress winner out of the 5 nominated. But you know, Lily Rose Depp should have been there. But no, Mikey Madison is incredible. Yeah, I can't really I don't really have anything negative to say about this performance. Everyone else is really good as well. Yuri Borisov is giving a really quiet and understated performance, but he's sometimes the best part of whatever scene he's in. The scene that I think of every time is the final scene in the car with both of them, but we can get into that in a little bit. Alex, what do you think about this movie? Just broad strokes.
Broad strokes, I thought it started very weak. And I think it like picks up momentum, like kind of like in a way that's like truly unprecedented. Like there's a moment where like things just click. And I have there honestly it's like a theme for this month is like, oh, I get it. Yeah, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas. And it takes a minute. I think at first it's really erratic. It's really crazed. It's very annoying. Like it's just the kind of like the kind of editing that like gives you a headache. But once it settles and you're like onboarded with the style, you're like, okay, no, we're moving, we're hustling, we're going, and like it's adaptive like that, and I really enjoyed that. I agree. I think Mikey Madison and Yuri Borisov are giving like fantastic performances, and it's one of those things that like, especially in the beginning, it felt like Mikey Madison was like, "Get in the car. We're going to the Oscars. Get in, get in, losers. We're going to the Oscars by hell or high water. We're going to that ceremony." And damn it if she didn't pull it off.
Yeah, no. Matthew.
All right, so I'd say I'm a fan of Sean Baker. Like I love the Florida Project. I think I like Red Rocket as well. Tangerine is not as much my thing, but I still enjoy it. And so with Anora, I feel like this is probably my favorite. I've seen it twice now. I didn't rewatch it like recently, but I have seen it twice. And it got better the second time. I just feel like there's, Mikey Madison, as we've talked about, is just phenomenal. And the story I just really get hooked into. And there's a lot of, I think the thing is just like, it's a very dramatic, very funny, but I feel like the emotional and like vulnerable parts of Anora's character is definitely what like makes everything stand out.
I would absolutely agree with that. There are some fantastic emotional beats in this movie, and some really, but they're able to mix in some really, I'm just gonna say, like some really hilarious moments. Like as much as this movie isn't just a straight up comedy and one of the funniest movies of the decade, like some people say, there are some really genuinely funny parts in it. Anything with Vanya's dad and specifically, I cannot help but just
You're
laugh.
talking about his actual dad or Toros, like his
Toros?
godfather
Like
or whatever?
No, his actual,
his
father.
okay,
When Anora is telling him off in the
in the plane. Or
I
in the
said it's not. I said it's not just a fun.
It still has funny moments.
It still has funny moments. Like things can be not a comedy and still have funny moments. Anyway, the scene where they're getting the annulment and Anora is really letting Vanya, whatever his name is, have it, and the dad is just sitting back there laughing his ass off. It just had me going.
And my favorite part of that is like, I think the funniest part of the movie is like the bearded guy. I can't remember the name of his character, but he's just like fast asleep in the background the whole time, and then the camera just goes over to him at the end. It's like really funny.
So good.
He has some of my favorite lines, or it's like just how whiny he is, and he's like Toros
Every
comes in
time
and he's like, you got beat up by a little girl, and he's like, but she doesn't fight like one. I'm like, oh.
The funniest he has got some of the funniest moments. Anytime that someone walks up to Anora, you just hear him in the background, whoa, careful. He has some really just underrated funny moments that are that you miss the first time. But Yura Borisov doesn't say a whole lot until it's just the two of them at the end, like in the scene at the house, right before they like when it's their last before he brings her home the next day. That scene at the house, he doesn't really say a whole lot until then, and he's doing so much with so little dialogue up until that point. I really like that supporting actor nomination. As much as this is a show about the Palme d'Or, I do think it's valid to mention that his Oscar nomination is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite scene in the movie overall. Is just when it's the Annie and Igor at their house, just like talking, and they're like,
fair,
just like how he's constantly like he's very patient, trying to make conversation with her, and she just keeps pushing him away because she can't imagine that his feelings for her are even remotely genuine. So she just keeps pushing him away, and I thought that the acting from both of them in that scene was just off the charts. So,
And I really like the scene where like Igor like talks about how he likes Anora better than Annie, and like looks up the meaning of her name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yesterday, and he goes, does he say best or worst birthday ever? I can't remember. And she's like, today was your birthday? He's like, no, yesterday. She's like, yesterday was your birthday? Oh, holy shit.
Happy fucking birthday, I guess.
Yeah, happy fucking birthday.
Yeah.
But no, I do like that scene worked a lot more for me on rewatch. Like I was really the end of that scene kind of bothered me the first time I saw it, but it didn't have as negative an impact on me this time around. I thought that it worked overall. The screenplay all throughout the film, the dialogue, the two performances from those two in that scene specifically. I thought it all just it came together really well. I thought it was a perfect emotional climax for the film. And yeah, no, we'll get into it. That last scene, like that last scene is can be really hard to watch. There's not like any dialogue or anything going on, but Alex, I'm having trouble forming words. Can you please take over for a sec?
Yeah, that last scene, it's really visceral, and it's like this like fantastic sort of emotional release. Like Anora's had hers, right? Like she got to tell off the Russian kid and the mean lady, and the dad was laughing, and you're like brought down a little bit, but now she's just like dropped off at her house, kind of right back where she started after getting this like really weird, like she describes it I think as like a Cinderella like situation, and she like gets back dropped off, and there's just like a moment between these two people that went on the ride together And it's the like entire movie letting out the final exhale of like, all right, guys, we made it. We made it all the way through. That's my take on it, I guess.
I would
Dylan,
agree.
anything?
Yeah, it's a great ending. I mean, definitely leaves you on like a bit of a damn, like oh shit, an ending towards it. I don't know if I necessarily got like relief from it, but
That's fair.
yeah, it was like, man, I think just the way like that Mikey Madison, like in that scene, like when the entire like vibe changes when he hands her the ring and she sees that he went out of the way, which that could have got him killed. Like I feel like the family could have just like, if they noticed that he did that, could have completely killed him. So like with the look on her face when that happens and how it all switches, and then it's like, yeah, just the final note that it ends on with her like in his arms crying. It's just like that. For some reason, when I first watched it, I was like, oh, okay, that's a really good ending. This time when I hit it, I was like, I was crying a bit. Not gonna lie, it's a good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
that's true.
That's
Yeah.
fair. From everything I've heard about Tangerine and Red Rocket, that would make sense. And I'm aware of the last bit of the Florida Project because I've been on Twitter. But yeah, no, that does make a lot of sense. That point, Payson. He
He's
might
also
be
really good at using, like ironically using bits of music. And like I think the way he uses the "Take That" song "Greatest Day" in this movie is like really cool, because I don't even love that song or that type of music very much, but for some reason when it comes on in this movie, it's like euphoric. So yeah.
If I remember correctly, it is just like the windshields, like noises at the end, right? Is it like
Yeah.
that's all that you hear?
Yeah. No, this movie is phenomenal. I like it. Everything about it kind of just really clicks for me. I love the dialogue. I love Baker's direction. I think it's a solid. Like I don't think there's anything in this movie where you could point at it and be like, this should have been better. And I think everything just really comes together really well for me. I think this is a really solid film to win the Palme d'Or, but I don't know if it's really my pick. It's up there, but it's there's other movies that were in competition that I think we could absolutely talk a little bit about before moving on. But is there anything else we want to say about Anora before we get to the other in competition films of that year?
I'll just close my thoughts on it by saying, yeah, overall, loved it. I wasn't expecting it to grow this much on me on a rewatch. But yeah, I really, really liked it. If I have one complaint, I think it spins its wheels a bit in the second act. But still, I think a lot of fun. So yeah, and even not all of it's fun. Some of it's pretty depressing. Before Aaron comes at me.
Yeah, no. It's not like, oh, this is such a funny movie. Gosh darn. No, it's
not the feel good film of the summer.
No, it's the perfect depiction of what I think the perfect dramedy would be, where you have got equal blend of drama and comedy in there, and it's a perfect marriage of the two. I think it works really well that way. Alex, any final thoughts on it?
I think it is a comedy.
Oh, I am so excited for you and Aaron to get in. Matthew.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love this movie. I on rewatch it went up to 5 stars, and just the way it has that balance of comedy and tragedy, and it's just like the ending really hits once again, like the second time.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that, and it's also a 5-star movie for me. Alex, what was your rating?
I went 3.5. I think it's a good movie, but I think it has some it has technical annoyances things that I think get me kind of down, maybe a bit unnecessarily. So like maybe 4 stars is I think a pretty good. I think it's a very good movie.
Yeah,
I think
no.
you would, if you see it, I think you would enjoy it. I would recommend it. Is it the best movie I saw this or any other year? Probably not. But I would recommend it. It's very nice.
That's entirely fair. That's entirely fair. Well, in that case, we can get into the winner or the other in competition movies from last year. Let me take a look at that. So, other movies that were in competition that lost to Anora. We have All We Imagine Is Light, The Apprentice. I'm just going up over the like major ones. Emilia Perez, Girl with the Needle, Kinds of Kindness, Megalopolis, O Canada, Seed of the Sacred Fig, and The Substance. O Canada, Paul Schrader movie, I believe. Yep, Paul Schrader. Yes. So out of the rest of the movies that were in competition, are there any others that you've seen, want to comment on, think that you would give the Palme d'Or over Anora?
Emilia Perez, for sure. I think that movie is.
Thank you for coming, Matthew. It was great having you. No, you're good. No, Emilia Perez is something.
It's something.
It sure is something.
It's been a while since I've screamed that much during the entirety of a movie. Like not since I watched The Thing. Maybe
I was literally about to say. I think the last time must have been when we saw The Thing together. But no. Okay, yeah. I'll just say it. Like, as much as I do love The Substance, or not love The Substance, I appreciate The Substance. I would not watch that movie again. As much as I can appreciate The Substance, it's not the movie that I would give. Ooh, that's right. Yes, that I was going to mention that. I just forgot. Thank you. Jury president that year was Greta Gerwig, and so I think. I don't know a ton about how the jury functions and like what specific authority the jury president has over like the rest of it and like the selection. All good. I'll just put you backstage. Dylan's computer just crashed, but he'll be back in a short moment. Greta Gerwig was jury president. Kudos on her for picking Anora. I don't know how much power the jury president has over the rest of the jury, but people talk a lot about the presidents when it comes to what, like the jury presidents when it comes to what's picked. So, but no, like Spielberg with Blue is the Warmest Color, but we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, there's The Substance is a really well-made movie. I wouldn't give it the Palme d'Or. Demi Moore is fantastic. I would give the Palme d'Or to Seed of the Sacred Fig. I think that movie is kind of a masterpiece. And the fact that it exists at all is kind of a miracle. Hi, Dylan. We're discussing the other movies. So I'm talking about the movie I would give it, and that would be Seed of the Sacred Fig. This movie's incredible. It follows this family in Iran whose father is... it follows a father, a mother, and 2 daughters in Iran, in like present day Iran. And the father is a judge, I believe, is his role in the government, and he is given a gun for like to protect himself with his new government job. And in Iran, there's all this turmoil going on around women's rights and the oppression of the government. And in the movie they intercut actual like footage from protests and riots, and it's done really effectively. The editing in this movie is immaculate. It's amazing. Mix those 2 words up there for a sec. And the performances are incredible. The fact that this movie exists is kind of insane, considering that the the director had been arrested 3 separate times before making this movie because he keeps breaking Iran's censorship laws and kind of made it in secret, I believe. So yeah, no, that's kind of insane. And one day the father comes home and his gun, he's gonna go to work and his gun has gone missing. He doesn't know where it is, and so it kind of becomes a thriller where he's trying to figure out who in his family has taken his gun, and the paranoia that ensues over that. And it's a really well crafted film. It's 3 hours long, so it does take a moment to get through, and it's really hard to get through at points, but such a well made movie. I cannot recommend this movie enough. It's definitely the one I would go for the Palme d'Or that year. Anyone else?
If it wasn't Anora, I would go with that too, because I think just the parallels of the government of Iran and the patriarchal status of that family is incredible, like how it's done. And I don't want to, don't want to spoil too much of the movie, but
yeah, I tried to keep it as broad as possible because it's really interesting. Like I think I gave everything that was in the plot description on Letterboxd, but yeah, highly recommend that movie to anyone who wants to watch it. I think it should be seen by everyone at least once. It's a very difficult film to get through.
It's not easy to watch.
Yeah, not an easy watch, but a necessary one in my opinion. I think it's excellent. Dylan.
Yeah, I still need to see that one. I'm glad y'all brought it up because I think it tells a very interesting story. But I still need to check it out. I will say. The one that I would have picked, so I've seen 4 movies that were a part of the competition for this year. I saw The Apprentice, Amelia Perez, which were not great in my opinion. Kinds of Kindness, which was pretty good. And my pick would actually be The Substance for my winner this year. I love that movie so much. It's got the weird, wild sensibilities that I like in a horror movie. The way it blends that social commentary with just kind of camp and 80s horror, almost Stuart Gordon style, body horror and cheesiness at points. I think it's really, really well done. The makeup effects are very gooey and goopy and gross, which I appreciate. The production design low-key is fantastic as well. A lot of super memorable just sets and designs and everything. I mean, you got what's his face, the guy from why am I blanking on the guy from The Rookie? Dennis Quaid. There we go. Eating shrimp directly into the camera, which is disgusting. I mean,
as much as I have subconsciously purged a lot of that movie from my brain, that is still seared in there. Ugh.
That's even grosser than Monstro Elizabeth.
Honestly, yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, because Monstro Elizabeth, she was just trying her best. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She was.
This one thing my sister told me when she watched it, she was like, I felt so bad for her. She was just trying her best. I was like, you know what, you're right. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
I have to know.
So The Apprentice, it's it incorporates almost member berries and nostalgia bait, almost fan service for Trump at the end. It's weird. It's so this guy walks in and he's like, I was thinking about this idea for this this slogan for the new book that we're coming up with. All right, ready? How about we call it "Make America Great Again"? And it's pause for what seems like they're waiting for applause or something, or people to be like, yeah, I recognize that reference. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, no, that there's parts of it that are very eye roll inducing, but I thought Stan's performance was kind of incredible. Just watching Sebastian Stan start as Sebastian Stan and then slowly morph into Donald Trump is one of the most unsettling things I've sat through for 2 hours. But also,
he was good in it. Yeah.
Second best performance of last year of his performance.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I haven't seen A Different Man. So
Oh, he's fantastic in it. That movie's really underrated. Yeah.
That's fair. Also, want a quick shout out, Emilia Perez. What are we doing here? I'm sorry. This movie, nothing about this movie works. I cannot find a single part of it where I'm like, yes.
Yes,
I
yes,
love
yes,
this
yes.
part. No. Zoe Saldana, I'm sorry. I like you as an actress, but no, I was not. That performance didn't work for me. Girl with the Needle, underseen, really solid.
I agree.
So hard to get through. Has inspired the new Jack Pinchuk Award for Most Depressing Film of the Year. There's that. This movie is just painful to watch. Like that. Like if I've seen people call it misery porn, and while I don't disagree, I can see the point. So it's very hard to sit through, but very well done, very well shot.
It's good. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely worth watching. I don't love it as much as you. I don't think it reaches the emotion that I was expecting to, but definitely give it a watch.
That's fair. And this is a fair ranking for your the 3 picks, Payson. I completely understand Anora being the winner and The Substance being up there. I'm just glad someone else has seen Seed of the Sacred Fig as well. So, Alex, anything else from you?
The Substance. I love a goopy monster. But I do like a movie that takes a big ambitious swing, like everything they were trying to do in The Substance. I don't think it all pans out, but like when you get to the point of the ending where like they're like, just dump as much on them as you possibly can. Do we have another bucket? Get another bucket. And like, just, they were like, it's really ambitious. They really swung for it. Some really pretty like sets and stuff. And I think some really like fun dynamic performances from Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley.
Yeah, no, they're fantastic.
Who got kind of lost as the year went on, but like I thought she was swinging right along with everything else that was going on. I really enjoyed her performance as much as I enjoyed Demi's.
That's fair. That is entirely fair.
Yeah, we'll say I forgot to mention it, but yeah, Demi. As much as I love Mikey Madison and Anora, Demi Moore is probably my pick that year, and I was a little annoyed just because as a horror fan, seeing like horror movies constantly get like shut out and ignored at the Oscars, especially like performances in them. I was like, well, this is the opportunity and like the chance where they could award one, and it would be like a big moment. And then they went with Mikey Madison, which she's great in it. Like, can't say she didn't deserve it. Like, she is fantastic in it. But
that's
it's like,
fair.
I wanted more to win.
No. I completely understand that. I completely understand. That's a sentiment that I agree with. The Academy being almost allergic to horror, it seems. But you know, there's another horror performance that came out from a movie last year that should have won Best Actress. I will not shut up about Lily Rose Depp and Nosferatu. Leave me alone. Also Fernanda Torres and I'm Still Here. Very close with Mikey Madison for my winner. Like that's an excellent class. That's an excellent 4 or 5 nominees in that class.
To bring it back to Cannes Film Festival, did you guys know who won Best Actress at Cannes this year?
I think The Substance won screenplay, so I don't know if it was Moore. It might have been Moore. Was it Moore?
They jointly awarded it to the entire female cast of Emilia Perez, everybody.
Let's go.
The entire cast. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Look, the performances aren't the issue of that movie, but it's like, come on.
No, but they're not good.
No.
As a fan of the Cannes Film Festival, it's hard for me to say that the Oscars had a better pick than Cannes, but
that's
case,
fair.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Yeah, okay. Awesome.
Also, okay, well, I'll bring up the other movies.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
All I Imagine as Light, great like very charming slice of life. So it's not like nothing super crazy happens, but it is like, you know, beautiful shots of Mumbai, and characters and loneliness, you know.
That's fair. That's
And
entirely
but Kinds of Kindness I liked a lot more. I really liked the three different segments pretty equally. I didn't think there was a loose one, and yeah, I mean how it deals with different kinds of love was really interesting.
That's fair. I want to see it because Jesse Plemons, and I love him in general. So, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Anywho, yeah. All right. No, I do want to see Kinds of Kindness though. That seems like I want to see it before I see Begonia this year. I feel like I should see more Yorgos movies. I think I would like him as a director. All right. So, does anyone want to say anything else about the other in competition films from that year? Cool. Let's get into Anatomy of a Fall. Yeah. Alex, I did the plot recap for the last one. You want to do a brief plot recap for this one?
Anatomy of a Fall. A man gravities? Something happens to this man. And there is a trial about it. And his wife is the really the only suspect. Nobody else would have been around. And there are inconsistencies in both the defense and the prosecution. But really, it's not about if she did it. That's a topic of like contention if she did it or not. But it's really about why somebody would. Why would you kill? Like, was the relationship difficult? Yeah, all relationships are difficult. What was different about this relationship? And that's really what kind of the movie is about, is what is going on in this relationship, in this family. What's going on in this relationship, in this family, and like what that says in relation to like, oops, he might have something. This guy may have jumped out a window. Maybe, I don't know. Every family, every person has their like secrets. Everybody has, you know, things that have to be like revealed in time, and it would be awful if it happened to you in such a public forum. And I gotta say, this movie, when I was saying earlier that like there's a moment, if you're watching a really good movie, there's a moment where you've like clicked, you've snapped in. Like, have you ever seen the meme where like the guy like locks in?
Yeah.
This movie has a very fast lock in time because it partially because a lot of it is in a foreign language, so you just like you have to be paying attention. You can't really like zoom out in your brain. But because there's this like musical sting that is loud, and it has to be loud, it's on purpose. Like, it's drawing your attention, and you're like, what is that? What is that? What is that? Why is it doing? Why is it happening? Why is it happening? And so by the time, like, you just lock in so early, and then you're invested, and because it's like it's very tense. And that I think is like probably this movie's one of its best strengths, is the fact that it forces you to pay attention. You can't really look away, because at any moment you might miss something. And it was almost weird knowing what it was about before watching it, because like I was approaching it as like this man's doomed. So let me look for the clues. Let's see what we're playing with. Let's see if I can figure it out. And that was sort of a really interesting way to watch it. I think this movie's great. Just simply great. I can't really say more. I can't stop saying nice things about it, but I guess I should probably let someone else say words. What if somebody hates it?
Yeah, this movie sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Anatomy of a Dumb.
Anatomy of a Fail, as Bill Burr called it, I think.
Oh, sure.
Sure, Bill. Sure, Bill Burr. Oh my
He actually loved the movie. He actually just thought it was called Anatomy of a Fail. Genuinely, it was like,
Oh.
I love that. I love Bill Burr. He's great. Matthew, what do you think of this movie?
Well, the last time I saw it was December 25th, 2023, in a cramped airplane.
That's fair.
So,
Life,
pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of courtroom dramas in general, but I felt like it was really interesting, especially because I have no understanding about the French legal system. So, like, discovering that through this movie, that was really interesting.
Yeah, actually, Dylan, you talk while I find what I'm looking for.
Yeah, going off of that was the craziest part for me in this, is seeing just how different it was to, because I don't know shit about let's say the justice system, apart from what's shown in courtroom dramas that I've seen. I've never been to court in real life, so like seeing it in this movie where it's like everyone just free to talk whenever they want, pretty much. It's like it was pretty funny. Like there's randomly where she's like, the client, like the defendant, Sandra Hüller's character, really just says, "Pardon me, sorry to interrupt," and then she just is able to continue on, and I'm like,
full
oh,
monologue,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
I'm like, wow,
just
this is fascinating.
Kirk's review for this movie was, so is this really how the French judicial system works? Felt like I was watching Captain Kirk's trial from the undiscovered country. Yeah, no. No. No, Payson. I put your comment up earlier and I didn't read it, but no. No, we do not. Don't bring up my love for Portrait of a Lady on Fire. That is different. Anyway. Anyway, yeah, no. This movie this movie is filmed in a way that feels very cinematic when most of it is just people sitting in rooms and talking. And like the scenes in the trial, like they're shot so well. You get the random close-up, like the random close-up or camera adjustment shots. Almost feels like a documentary at times, like when it does something like that. Sandra Hüller is killing it here, absolutely killing it. One of the best performances of that year, for sure. First time I saw this movie was at the Garneau, which is my local indie theater here in Edmonton, and I saw it with my mom, and she wanted to see it. It was fun. She loved this movie, and seeing I did not catch everything the first time around because they talk really fast at points in this.
Yes.
So and the subtitles kind of just fly by at points, but I didn't miss much the first time, but I caught way more this time around, and I loved it even more. I'm giving it the bump up to 5 stars this time around, like from 4.5 to 5. I thought there wasn't really anything out of place for me. Everything clicked really well. The son, what's his name? Daniel.
The character's name is Daniel. But I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Daniel's actor, Milo Machado Graner.
Groner.
Yeah, Milo Machado Graner, giving one of the best like child performances in a movie I've seen this decade. Like he doesn't he kind of disappears from the second act for a little bit, but in the third act specifically, he has 2 scenes that absolutely blew me away. The scene where he's explaining to the woman the court appointed to like look after him while his mother is on trial. where he explains the experiment that he did with the dog, giving the dog aspirin, and him entering new evidence in the court are two just incredible moments. I love the how they cut the conversation with the father when they're taking the dog to the vet in that scene. They never have his voice in there. It's always the kids. So they're like, you're getting the story from him, but you never know for sure if I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but you never know for sure if what he's saying is the truth. And I really like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with this this movie that I can point to and say this, like I said with Anora, this should have been done better. No, this everything was kind of just fit perfectly for me.
Yeah,
gonna-
I will say this is probably my favorite of the three films we're talking about this episode.
Mhm.
I think this movie's fantastic.
That's
Yeah, so I am a big fan of courtroom dramas. I think they're very entertaining. And yeah, I think this one, like, it's such a great, like, procedural, like, how the evidence, how it presents the evidence, like, as we go along further into the film, and just how naturally it plays out, I feel like is really well done. Yeah, I mean, I think my favorite scene involving the child in terms of performance is when he's talking with that character you were talking about, the one who's hired to look after him, and he's just like pleading with her, like, "Hey, do you think my mother did it?" Like, and he's just crying because like he has no idea, and he doesn't want he desperately doesn't want it to be true. It's like it's like a perspective that I feel like you don't often see in these types of courtroom dramas, which I think was like it was a really powerful moment there. And yeah, when he's giving the testimony also about the conversation that he had with his father after picking up the dog from the hospital, that was also like a really powerful scene. Yeah, just a phenomenal movie overall. Yeah, could go up to 5 stars. Yeah, I think if I watch it again. Right now, I think it's a really high 4.5 stars. Sandra Hüller's, I think, giving maybe my favorite performance of this year. With that being said, I can't remember a lot of the other movies that came out this year. Actually, no, never mind. Probably either Emma Stone or Lily Gladstone, probably better than her. But either way,
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. I probably give her the edge there, but it's close between the three for sure.
Yeah.
No. The scene that like has me dialed in every time, like I think about this scene every now and again, and both times I've seen the movie now, I have just been dialed in every time, is when they play the recording that the husband took the day before he died, and you're transported out of the courtroom and into their argument, and it's probably like a solid 10 minutes. It feels like
for a while, yeah.
Yeah, it goes on for a while of just the two of them having a this argument in their kitchen, and it is almost painful to sit through the longer it goes on. He's not really in the movie. I mean, he died in the like first 10 minutes, but the actor who plays the father, the husband in this, is he's truly incredible in that one scene. Like he doesn't get a lot to do, but in that one scene he really makes the most of his screen time. I got to take a step away for a sec, but I'll be back in a sec. Someone else talk, please.
Yeah, the use of PIMP is really good. It made me there were definitely some points where I felt emotionally conflicted, because it was like in courtroom where they're playing the recording, and on one hand I'm like feeling the emotions of like anger with the French justice system, while also nodding my head to the song PIMP. So it was like very conflicting feeling. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Matthew, any thoughts on the film overall?
I like
Lord?
messy.
Nessie? Nice.
Nessie the dog.
The
Yeah,
dog.
he's a good dog.
Alex?
Do you think that's how he found out that his mom's bi, or does that is that
That's
was
a good
my
question. I never thought of that.
now as you because like they bring it up in court and like I mean this it must have been part of discovery, but they're like, as you know, this woman is bi and cheated on on the husband. And I mean, he was in court all the days. The kid was in the back going, "What? Wait, are both of those things true? Did he know both of those things, or do you think they were hiding at least one of them from him until he was? It doesn't matter, really. Yeah, it's just good.
Alex, you have a way with words sometimes that I just can't help but smile. This movie's fantastic. Once again, 5 stars. There's nothing that I would change about it, really. This and Paths of Glory, really good. What the fuck is the French legal system? Double feature. Yeah. Matthew, you gave your final thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you liked Messi.
That's right. Yes, I do remember that. All right. In that case, we can get on to the other nominees, the other in competition movies from that year. I really need to start pulling this up before I start saying this, but yeah, we'll get there. Holy shit. 2023. There we go. All right. Official selection. So other movies that were in competition that year. We got Asphalt City and Asteroid City. Haven't seen either of them, but kind of funny they were both there, as Dylan pointed out earlier. Fallen Leaves. I've heard of that one. Firebrand, Four Daughters, May December, Monster, Perfect Days, The Taste of Things, and The Zone of Interest. Okay.
And La Chimera, which
Yes, I was
Dylan,
going to bring that up.
I was like, I think Dylan and I will both bring it up.
Yes. Yeah. Apologies. I'm not familiar with a few of these.
It was an amazing Josh O'Connor performance.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, okay. Josh O'Connor. I had a different person in mind when you first said that name. So I do like Josh O'Connor though, so maybe I'll watch that. But out of the other other in competition movies from that year, what are some other ones that you've seen, would give the Palme d'Or to over Anatomy of a Fall? Is there one you'd give it to over Anatomy of a Fall?
I'll give it to Monster personally.
That's fair. That's Coriata, yeah.
Dylan, I believe. I don't know. Have you saw Monster? Right?
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to. Coriata is a bit of a blind spot for me, but I do really love the ones that I've seen.
That's fair. From what I've heard, he sounds like a director you'd like.
Yeah.
He also sounds like a director that I'd like, according to everything that Matthew has told me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, personally, I go May December. I think that movie is kind of, hang on, what does Payson say? Zone would be my winner. That's entirely fair. I also adore Asteroid City and May December. Haven't seen Asteroid City yet. Want to. Adore May December. That movie's incredible. Speaking of which, May December, 100% my pick for this year. I think you've got, actually, as much as I do love Sandra Hüller, Natalie Portman is the one that that probably gives my favorite performance by an actress this year in a movie. I think it's the best performance I've seen from her since Black Swan, maybe. There's a couple I haven't seen in that time frame, but it's a really interesting story. The fact that it's wait, Matthew, correct me. It's sort of based on a true story, or is it just based like the thing that it's inspired by? Is it like sort of based on a true story or entirely fictional? I thought I heard somewhere that parts of it were based on something that actually happened.
Dylan, do you remember?
It is based on a true story. It's actually based on the same true story that inspired the movie That's My Boy with Adam Sandler. So yeah, for
Wait.
some reason and that came out way before May December. For some reason they got their hands on that story. They wanted to be the first ones to tell it, and they thought it would be a good idea to make it into a quirky little comedy with Adam Sandler in it. And yeah. So yes, to answer your question, it is based on a true story.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that Adam Sandler movie, but now I feel like I have to.
Double feature. Yeah.
What the hell? Honestly, that would be a really interesting double feature. I don't know if I'll ever do that though. Yeah, no, Todd Haynes directs the shit out of this movie. Really, I haven't seen it since it came out, so thoughts on it are a little hazy. But as much as I do love Portman and Moore in this movie, Charles Melton steals it. Every scene he's in, he steals. One of my favorite performances of the last 10 years, Charles Melton in this. Incredible shit.
Sorry, to clarify my statement for Payson in the chat. They're both inspired by the same real life incident. Because actually the plots for May, December, and That Is My Boy are completely different, but they're inspired by the same event, basically. So yeah.
That is so fucking weird. That is so weird. I need to do more research into that because I'm so confused. Yeah, no. Other than that, I haven't really seen a whole lot of movies. Although Zone of Interest, that is 100% a fair pick. Maybe the best use of sound in a movie this century. It's that. I love Oppenheimer, but the sound design of the Zone of Interest is that's the thing in the movie that I think of when I think of the movie. I don't think of Sandra Hüller as her performance or whoever played Rudolph Haas or whatever his name was. It's the technical aspects. It's the sound design. It's Jonathan Glazer's direction. This movie is kind of a technical masterpiece.
Mhm.
Yeah, no,
It's a very difficult watch. I don't quite love it. It's very brutal, but the technical aspects are all incredible.
Yeah, I agree. It's one that I think is fantastic, just like all the other movies I've seen in this class. This, I think, is the strongest class so far, because every movie that I've seen that was in competition here was like, I have at least 4.5 stars. Zone of Interest, I think, is remarkable, fantastic. Never need to watch it again. But yeah.
Entirely fair. Like, yeah, no, I don't know if I'll ever watch that movie again, but it feels like an important movie to see at some point. I have sent the link now to Adelaide, who will be guesting on the Triangle of Sadness portion, as they have a pretty cool story about that year for us. And yeah, so as soon as they get here, we'll move on. Until then, we can kind of just
okay. I mean, we can move on to Perfect Days, which I don't want to.
Yes.
Because I don't want to get to Monster just yet. I was like, we can talk. But Perfect Days is it's really. And Dylan, you also are a fan.
Big fan, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Perfect Days. This would be my winner for this year. This is just the type of movie that I really love. For some reason, I like movies at opposite ends of the spectrum. I like movies that are either batshit insane, like The Substance, or I like very low key, calm, contemplative movies like Perfect Days, where not a lot happens. It's just kind of life is the plot. And Perfect Days, phenomenal. It reminds me a lot of Patterson, which I think many people have drawn that comparison. Jim Jarmusch, obviously, is one of my favorite director. I love his movies. And yeah, Wim Wenders' direction of Perfect Days, I think, is just really fantastic. Shit. What's the name of the main guy, Matthew? Is it like Koji
Yakusho?
Yeah, he's incredible in it as the main character. I love just the character's outlook on life, where he's he lives a very low key lifestyle, and he's completely just content. And I think it's something about that is just so beautiful and just fun to watch.
He has his
So, yeah.
routine, like
Yeah.
takes these photos of trees and just like, living through life.
Yeah. So yeah, I absolutely adore that movie. That's like the one I think 5-star movie I think from this class for me. So that would have been the one that I would have awarded it to.
That's fair. And also a rare Kirk Kulakowski 4-star movie,
Yeah,
which
I
is
think he
always
gives those out more recently, but yeah,
yeah, no, but still not often.
not often. Yes.
And then Monster and any other ones?
Well, Asteroid City is also a great movie that I think not a lot of people, or I feel like it's pretty underrated for Wes Anderson because it's I don't it's not my favorite Wes Anderson, but I feel like it kind of has a more like self-examination and deconstruction of his work a little bit more. It's been a while since I've seen it too, but it's a great cast of characters, lots of really fun like side stories, and like the framing device is really interesting.
Yeah, I agree. That's another one on my list. I love that movie. A big Wes Anderson guy. I know. I think Alex said before you went live he's not a big Wes Anderson fan. But for me, like his shtick just kind of like really works. And yeah, I think like Matthew was saying, like the whole because like a lot of his movies are like a lot of people complain about his movies and like the like I guess artifice of it all and
Mhm.
how fake everything feels. And yeah, that's kind of like what Asteroid City is all about, like him addressing that. So I feel like people are being a bit facetious when they say, "Oh, it's just Wes Anderson doing Wes Anderson stuff." I'm like, I think there's more to it than that. So yeah, I think Asteroid City is fantastic.
I should be clear. I've never seen a Wes Anderson film. So
Oh,
when I
okay.
say
My bad. My bad.
Hey, you've never seen Fantastic Mr. Fox or the Grand Budapest Hotel?
like I said, I've never seen a Wes Anderson film.
Kind of
So
wild, not gonna lie. I didn't know that.
yeah. When I say it, I just want you to know that I was saying it just to
My
say
bad.
it. It's not like I have no strong feeling one way or another. It seems like a director that I would not. You just get a
Really?
vibe
Yeah.
and you're like, nah.
My apologies. I didn't mean to send
Too-
the Wes Anderson mob after you.
It's too
Everyone can hold back.
it's too varnished, is my opinion.
Fair enough.
But yeah, for Monster is one of those movies where you need to go in as blind as possible because I don't want to, without saying too much, it's about these, two young boys, and they go to school together. And that's really about it because it's a Koreeda movie, which means that there's always going to be something very like, there's just the way he has his style. There's like quietly devastating, but like the movie unravels in a way that like I'm super hooked. And like Ryuichi Sakamoto's score is incredible. It's really difficult to say too much, but just watch it going in as blind as you can.
Nice.
Fair enough. I've heard great things. I plan on watching it soon. Awesome. And you two mentioned another one at the top of it, at the top of this.
Oh, La Chimera?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alice Rohrwacher also directed a Netflix film, I believe, called Happy as Lazaro, which is also quite good. I'm a fan of her films. Yeah, I think La Chimera is my favorite of hers, the favorite of the two ones that I've seen. It's not saying much, but both are fantastic. Yeah, La Chimera, like I said, Josh O'Connor, this was like, I think I saw this before I saw Challengers, and I was like, whoa, this guy is really, really fucking good. And he's acting in both, I believe, English and Italian in this movie. So it's very impressive, and yeah, it's just a fun little picture. Check it out.
Yeah, I agree. No, definitely. I do want to watch more Walker, but
Yeah.
Fair. All right. Do we have any other movies from this class that we want to discuss?
I think I'm good.
All right, awesome. And with that, let's introduce our guest for this last segment, Adelaide Spence. Adelaide, how are you doing today?
I am doing all right. I am literally on airport signal, so let's hope I don't sound like shit.
You sound perfectly fine to me. Awesome. All right. So, Triangle of Sadness. Adelaide, we won't make you do that. Dylan, you wanna give a quick little plot recap? Like
I'll
30
try my
seconds?
best. A lot happens in this movie. Triangle of Sadness, basically a movie about how rich people are weird, aren't they? And yeah, they are. So it starts out we're following this couple of models named Carl and Yaya. They end up having an argument over a bill, and then they're like, "Nah, we're good now. Let's go on a boat trip." And then they go on a boat trip with a bunch of other fancy rich people, and things start out fine. They're having a good old time. They meet all this eccentric group of characters on the boat, along with including a Russian capitalist. And there's also Woody Harrelson plays the captain of the ship, who's I believe a communist. And they get into a lot. Those two characters get into a lot of arguments with each other, while also being best buddies and getting drunk the whole time. And then shit spirals into chaos, and there's a lot of piss and shit and vomit, and then the boat gets bombed, and then they end up on an island and try to survive. And that's Triangle of Sadness.
That's basically it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Adelaide, I guess you're our guest. Why don't you kick us off with the discussion for this movie?
I am very happy that I am not a regular host of the show because I really don't want to rewatch this movie. I know, at least I remember that Matthew was a fan of it. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it is like, I remember because like a few months ago, everyone was talking about the substance, like, oh my god, it's so blunt, and like it's not adding anything because it's such like an obvious and open conversation. That's what Triangle of Sadness feels like. It's like, yo, rich people fucking suck. Like I in preparation for this, I tried to watch a bit. I tried to watch Ruben Östlund's first film, The Square, and it
We're
feels
talking about that a few episodes later, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah.
It feels incredibly similar. Of just like very bland, and it's not even like deconstructing the rich perspective. It seems like it's kind of operating from within, and only really analyzes the point of like the subjugated when it goes full Lord of the Flies. Like it has to fully ape something else to try and be effective, and I don't understand it. I also think that Woody Harrelson is like horribly miscast in the worst part of the movie. Like I don't think any of it works. It's a really just forgettable experience when I'm not actively infuriated by how poorly it's put together.
Yes,
Fair
Ruben
enough.
Östlund was the jury president for 2023. Forgot to bring that up. My bad.
Yes, he was. He was jury president for 2023. Was that in the? Yes, it was.
Is it just like the winner from the previous year comes and serves again?
No, because I believe Juliette Binoche is doing it this year.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Greta
I mean,
Greta Gerwig did it last year.
well,
and-
you're not going to get fucking Jacques Audiard to come back and tell you that much.
Yeah, no. We brought up Amelia Perez again, and that's oof. Anyway, I didn't hate this movie. I didn't love it. I like it. I liked this movie fine. Triangle of Sadness. There's things in it that work, and I don't know how I can adequately describe this, but the second part of this movie, where it's on them on the boat, that it's both the best and worst part of this movie, because I like the conversations between Woody Harrelson and the Russian capitalist. I like I like a lot of the vibes in that the first bit of that act, and then everyone just starts pissing and shitting and puking, and it gets to be a lot. It like a lot. So that was That was something. I think it's well written at points. The screenplay doesn't always click for me. The performances don't always work. Yaya and Harris Dickinson are good. Like there's nothing. I don't think they're doing anything bad there. Woody Harrelson, I didn't hate him in the role. I'm
I thought
sorry.
he was great. I'm sorry.
I like him as the captain. I think he's probably the most entertaining part of the movie.
So as we get into like the second phase, I have a very interesting Woody Harrelson story.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Okay. And Dolly De Leon, like she kind of owns the third act. That's her name, right?
Mhm.
I didn't.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool.
Sure.
I'm going off of like the. I'm going off of
No,
what,
you are correct. It is Dolly
Yeah.
De Leon.
okay.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. The reactions gave me some pause. But yeah, no. She kind of owns the third act, and she's really solid. There's just nothing about the movie that jumps out at me like, yes, this is cinema. Like that, I am watching a great movie right now. Like everything about it kind of just works. It just doesn't feel very. It doesn't go too deep into what it's trying to criticize.
All right, I'll go next. I really like this movie. I'm not as big of a fan of it as I was when I first watched it. When I first watched it, I thought it was amazing. Loved it. This time, it dragged a bit in parts for me. But overall, I mean, I'm fine with it being super blunt and simplistic with its messaging. Like, I don't know. For some reason, sorry to come at you a bit here, Adelaide, but for some reason in 2022, everyone was like brushing this movie aside, saying, "Oh, this movie's not very good. It's too overly long, self-indulgent, too much poop and piss." And but for some reason, and a few months later, when Damien Chazelle did the exact same thing, everyone was like, "Yeah, Babylon, best movie of the year." I like that movie too. I like that movie too. I just find it weird that everyone brushes off this one and then is like completely okay with Babylon. I don't know. That's just my.
No,
Sorry, Alex.
No, but you're right. That movie sucks too. No, you're right. The movie's terrible. No, but continue.
But yeah, yeah, I just find it entertaining. I don't know. It's like a funny comedy to me. I don't know why it was up for like so many of the awards that it was up for. I was like, wow, really, this movie? But as just like a absurdist like comedy, almost feels like a Louis Buñuel film in terms of its absurdity and like its criticisms of the bourgeoisie. But so I think it's a lot of fun. I don't necessarily think it should have won all the stuff that it did, but yeah, it's fine.
Great.
Speaking for resident piss boy Jack Pinchuk, I think there's a difference between like I think both movies kind of use that like excrement as like contrasting the nature of how we perceive it, but I think at least Babylon is adding something to the conversation of like, oh, here's what early Hollywood really was, contrasting it with the idea of like Singing in the Rain, this super like pastiche idea of filmmaking. I feel like we've done so much deconstruction of these capitalist narratives and the rich people that are even involved in it that I don't feel like it contributes anything new or even interesting. Like the performances don't elevate it, the writing doesn't elevate it. It just feels kind of like a bland experience. And yes, it's also 2.5 hours of that.
The menu had a lot of similar points and was better.
At no point does Dolly De Leon say anything as good as tortillas.
It's true.
Oh.
Hong Chow would have made this movie a lot better, I will say.
You're not wrong. Hong Chow would make most movies better.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, no. I believe. Can we not have this be a thing, please? Where is this coming from?
He's right.
Okay.
It's not though. Anyway, Adelaide. Well, Payson, I believe Adelaide was saying Oslin's
Or-
first Palm.
First Palm.
Yeah. I just picked the square because I knew that it was like supposed to be really good. I probably would have really liked Force Majeure. The square is just not really a vibe, and I have no clue how y'all are gonna feel about it.
I've heard Force Majeure is actually I think 2.
2. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Force
They're
Majeure
doing,
is-
I think, sets of 3 for the first few episodes.
Yeah, that's going to be in episode 3. That's the first movie we cover on episode 3, and then it's I, Daniel Blake.
Yeah, I've heard from people that have seen more of his filmography that Force Majeure is actually like his best movie, so I'm excited to watch that.
I don't love it, but I think you'll probably like it more than me.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Now, I'm very interested to hear what Alex has to say about Triangle of Sadness. So
Yeah, we can go to me first because
Okay,
I'm on
cool.
the same boat as you guys. I didn't. I mean, last time I saw it was when it came out, but from my memory, I did enjoy the 3 acts. Personally, I found the 3rd act to be my favorite, but still interesting conversations in the 1st and 2nd act. Maybe goes a little bit long with all the fluids, but not the end of the world. Honestly, like I didn't mind it too much as a fan of Babylon. And then the 3rd one is just like really interesting look at the power dynamic and how it shifts, and then how that kind of takes over.
That's fair.
I just think that sorry to interject, I just think that last portion of the movie, I still enjoy it. I just think that's where the pacing, like, I think really slows down for me. I think is the part on the island. Like for me, I just feel like that part goes on for a bit too long. Could have been condensed, but yeah.
I just think Dolly De Leon is she just steals the show.
She's amazing. Yeah.
I just realized something that. Oh my goodness. Alex, start talking.
Somewhat frustratingly, I'm here to agree with Adelaide and Dylan.
What?
In a bad way. For a negative. I think this movie is like the cinematic equivalent of like someone walking you into a field and being like, "Behold a metaphor." And you're like, "Yeah?" And then turns you and like, "Look, another one." Okay? And then turns you again, a 3rd metaphor. Wow. Okay, yeah. Are we gonna? No, we're leaving. We're going home. Let's go. Come on. I think the only person that's having any kind of fun is Woody Harrelson. I think he turned up on set and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna nail this. Oh, I'm gonna be the star of this movie." And for me, I like he's the only person that I'm like he had a great time. Like they made Dolly De Leon do some stuff, and like people like really liked her performance, and that's great. But I'm sitting here thinking, this Woody Harrelson guy, he's going places. But honestly, by the time it gets to like all the fluid stuff, I'm just so relieved that something is happening that isn't like scratching the surface of like oh look, makes you think, huh? Like at that point, some like, oh good, any kind of excitement. Like it's not many movies that literally set off a grenade in the middle of the plot. It's not many movies that do that. But just like to liven up the party, they like blow up. They like blow up some stuff, and that's imagine how boring your movie has to be. That like that's how like the low point for the characters is. So anyway, we went to dinner, and things got really bad after that. It's just kind of lame, and it doesn't really get at anything meaningful, and I think that sucks. And I have to say, if the other 2 movies had a moment where they really snapped in, this movie never turned the gas. Like it never turned the gas on for me, where I was just like, all right, come on, guys. How many grenades do you have to set off before I get interested? They tried setting 1 off, and it was not the right number. Although, since I think I've said something inappropriate about all the other movies so far, so I'm gonna go for the full 3. Do you think he got it all the way up for Dolly De Leon, or was it like? all the way. Was he fully enthusiastic
Maybe
about
half.
it? Yeah,
I'm gonna say half.
it's a lot. It's a lot of sand around.
Yeah.
You couldn't possibly. You couldn't possibly with that much sand. Couldn't do it. Oh God, I've been holding on to that joke the whole day.
Yeah, good film.
Good.
No.
Okay.
I agree. Good film. I agree, Alex.
But on a larger point, Babylon is terrible. That movie, less than 2 stars.
Yeah, for the record, I like Babylon fine. Like, I think it's comparable in quality to this. I just find it weird people are so in favor of one and then like hate the other. I just find that strange to me, but it is what it is.
I don't hate this. I do love Babylon. I don't hate this, but okay.
Just because I have to get back to work, can I kind of like speed run
Yes.
my?
That's what I
like,
was
fun
gonna. I was
contributions?
literally about to do that.
Yeah, we forgot to
Yeah.
mention you were actually at this Cannes Film Festival.
Yes.
So tell us about it.
I will say, so for anyone who is like relatively younger, I think Dylan, Matthew, I think you guys are probably a little bit, I think, too close to graduation to do it. But I was part of a student program with the American Pavilion, which basically, I don't know exactly what they do, but kind of what our purpose was there is when I went, they covered my fee to attend the festival to basically work at their setup to host conversations. Like, I remember one that I had to help staff for was what's his goddamn name? Jack, who's the guy who has like really shitty Oscar predictions for Variety?
You think I know Oscar columnists?
Yes, you of
No.
all people would.
I really don't.
He's a
I
really
know
nice
some
dude.
Oscar YouTubers, but I don't know a whole lot of Oscar columnists.
I
Talking
hosted
about
the
the
Oscar
conversation with
Bro.
him.
It was brother bro.
I was the escort for Viggo Mortensen when he was doing an interview about Crimes of the Future, stuff like
Yeah.
that. The Woody Harrelson story is I had to miss this because I was watching something, but apparently he was doing like a junket interview over Triangle of Sadness, and just out of nowhere went into this super long and intense anti-vax rant about how it's stupid
wow.
as hell that people have to wear masks and that vaccines are like controlling our brains or some shit.
I think
It's
Woody
on
Harrelson's
Carnage.
Woody
Tell me
Harrelson
Carnage
did
doesn't
that?
like this? Yes, Woody
Damn.
Harrelson. Not a shock.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I sent Jack my list. I watched 11 movies and part of a TV show there. Unfortunately, not everything was in competition. Like Yamabuki and The Silent Twins are 2 movies that like will probably never get distribution. But I was able to do that. Same for Palm Trees and Power Lines, which I think Jack you really like. It's about basically a girl who I think 17 or 16-year-old who gets groomed by an older man, and as
Why
like
do
a
you
very
think I would
like.
like?
I think you really like movies that'll make you really sad and want to die, and this is that kind of movie. Like
Okay,
it is like hauntingly like straightforward. It's an intense watch.
Yeah, The
But-
Hunt is in my top 100 movies of all time.
So
you're-
Jack, you
Yeah.
should watch Monster.
So speaking of Monster, obviously I wasn't able to see this prior to the festival or prior to the awards or anything. The actual Clayton Davis, yes, I met him. He is very nice. Awful predictor, but just really sweet person. My pick for the in competition winner would have been Close, which I don't know if the rest of you have seen.
You've
No,
told me.
I wanted to
you've
watch it
told me
for
to
this,
watch
but I
it.
didn't get the time.
Yes. Okay. So I will be very vague. Basically, it's about these 2 young boys who are just like really close. Like they're 13. Like they don't understand the world really. Like basically best friends to the point that they like attach at the hip. And then once the school semester starts again, they're kind of mocked and made fun of for their connection. Like, oh, look at these little 2 like little gay kids or whatever. And that's how their peers see them. And then you see the fallout of why those words hurt those kids so much and what happens from that. And it's really powerful. And it's also like, it's this great way of sort of breaking down, like, what do connections really mean? How do we sort of find that line, what it means to everyone else? I think it's beautiful. I think it got 2nd place. So I'm very happy with how it did. It fucking sucks that it lost a Triangle of Sadness, but it's incredible. I watched 3,000 Years of Longing in IMAX. Like that was incredible. I'm so happy I got to do that. And then yeah, if y'all ever get the opportunity to like be in France, Cannes is just a beautiful place. Technically, it's in Nice, but it's like an adjacent city. It is beachside. I watched the last picture show on a beach at like 8 p.m. It was fantastic. It is like a 1 hour drive from Monaco, so you could go and watch like the Grand Prix or whatever, or right? Yeah, Monaco.
Yeah, that
Dude,
sounds fun.
it's legitimately a life-changing experience that if Matthew, Dylan, if y'all want to like fail a year, you guys can do this. You guys can do the program. Just fuck around, find out, meet,
Waste so
random
much
ass
money in
people.
tuition to take all my classes again.
Yeah, I mean they cover like a couple grand of like festival attendance fees.
All right. Tempted.
I don't know if y'all have any questions for me or anything else I can contribute.
Yeah. Anyone else notably anti-vaxxer at this at this
I
film
mean, I'm
festival?
from Alberta,
Actually,
but
maybe.
contrary to what you
Oh,
may think, based on that information, I am not an anti-vaxxer.
Isn't this the
Technically
And
speaking,
not
Letitia, right?
also not a creep
Yes.
for the chat.
So Alex knows this. I am notably
Yes.
a Letitia Wright hater. I mentioned the Silent
Yeah.
Twins.
Okay.
It stars her from the director of The Lure, which I know Dylan and Matthew y'all are fans of.
Agnieszka Śmoszyńska or something like
You
that.
fucking nerd. And I got an opening night ticket to like literally like red carpet opening night to attend the movie. And the very next day, Ampav was hosting a conversation with Letitia Wright, who very recently was added back to the MCU because she shut up about being anti-vax.
Wow.
So me, not being a fan of her, runs into her after the speech. She's like, "Oh my god, I love your hair." So now I'm conflicted. Like, how can I be a Twitter hater of somebody who has actually seen me in person?
No, fair.
What did you say?
Thank you. And I turned around and was like, wait, do I like her? No, I don't think so.
Well, I think she's learned. I think she's that maybe is that why she's back?
Yeah, it's the thing of like, did she learn it? Did she stop talking?
Mhm.
Yes.
But it was like a really life-changing experience. So I'm happy that I got the opportunity to like talk about it more and steal more attention about this. I will say again, if y'all had more time, I would really recommend Close. I think it is like a really beautiful movie. And then Dylan specifically, watch Hunt.
Yes,
It
you
is
told me about this. I really want to watch it.
It is like Heat mixed with RRR. It's not as good as either of them, but it's like a massive mess in a really good way.
Sweet. That sounds great. Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
and it's directed by Lee John Jay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have no clue if he's going to get any more work after it, but he actually directs it pretty well. It's just like kind of a shitty script.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I got to go back to work, but I will
Sounds
be
good.
continuing
Thank
to
you,
watch.
Adelaide.
Sounds good. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming on. Awesome.
All right.
So
We're still talking about other films.
yes, the jury president that year was someone named Vincent Linden, who I believe was in
Titan.
Yeah.
So, he was the jury president this year, and the other films in competition were Armageddon Time, Broker, Close, Crimes of the Future, Decision to Leave, EO. Wow, there's a lot in this one. A lot of big ones, anyway. Showing Up, and Triangle of Sadness. And wow, I guess not. That was just a really front-loaded one.
Spider is the movie before The Apprentice of that director, and then I think
okay.
Stars at Noon is a Claire Denis movie. I haven't actually
Was Showing
seen
Up
those.
in competition
Showing
this
Up
year?
was yeah.
Oh, I missed that one. Interesting.
Armageddon Time, mid. Broker, pretty good. Okay, that's fair. I haven't seen either. My pick, though, because I've only seen one other movie, but I would give it that would be my pick over Triangle of Sadness and most other movies, I'm assuming, because this movie's incredible. Decision to Leave. Park Chan-wook, pretty good director. Yeah, I watched all of his movies for Blank Check a couple of years back, and Did not regret it. This is his most recent movie. He's got one coming out this year, hopefully at Cannes, called No Other Choice, and I am so excited for that movie. We'll get into that in a second. Decision to Leave follows a detective who is investigating the death of this man and and he becomes
You fall from a significant height.
Yes,
he sure did fall from a significant height.
he gravities.
I think that's going to be my new default term for falling to your death. You gravitied. Thank you, Alex, for that term. I think also thank you for falling from a significant height. I don't know.
That was not me.
Oh no, that was
Igor.
That was Igor. Yeah.
Igor. Okay.
But yeah, no. And he ends up developing a connection with the wife of the man who passed away, and I don't want to say too much about this movie because you really need to go into it as blind as possible. Movie's absolutely fantastic.
Just focus on the camera work and the.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's
Like,
maybe it's the best edited movie of the decade for me, and maybe the best edited movie of the century. It's incredible. That or Eternal Sunshine are probably the two picks I'd go with. Or Arrival. Those are the three. Those are the three picks for best edited movies of the decade or century so far, for me. But yeah, I can't remember the lead actor's name in this movie. He's excellent. But Tang Wei as the main woman in this is just an absolute revelation. That performance just lives rent-free in my head, and it's got one of the most emotionally impactful endings in a movie I've seen in a long time. So yeah, can't recommend Decision to Leave enough. Everyone else, if you haven't seen it yet, please watch it. It's so good.
Yeah, that would probably be my pick too. One of the better films I feel like about a guy who just can't seem to get any sleep. Like
Yeah.
like just how exhausted he is through the entire movie. I think adds a lot to it. But yeah, a really fun movie overall. I need to rewatch it. I'm saying fun a lot for movies that aren't necessarily that. I don't feel like that's entirely what they're going for, but it is a fun. It's a fun little romance, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Matthew,
I like the romance.
nice.
Would I like War Pony, Adelaide? I don't know what this movie is, but you said Riley Keough, so I'm interested. But no. Yeah.
I do think, I definitely want to rewatch Decision to Leave because I feel like I didn't get everything on the first watch. I feel like maybe I'll pick up on more things. Especially, I like part of it is just like there are Mandarin parts where I'm like, oh, I know what you're saying. I don't need the subtitles, which is
Fair enough.
always fun.
Yeah.
That's fair. Alex, anything else from this one that you want to talk about or no?
I don't think so.
Cool. All right. Well, in that case, is there anything else from this one that either of you want to talk about?
Crimes of the Future.
Fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta shout out my boy David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Not one of my favorite movies of his, but still a really good one. I mean, it's just some fun performances.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, it's a fun time. Take the whole family. Probably not. But yeah, Kristen Stewart is giving a really interesting performance in this movie, doing quite a lot. And yeah, some good classic Cronenberg weirdness, insanity. Good times all around. He's made this movie 100 different times, and I feel like way better multiple times. So, just watch any of those. But Crimes of the Future is good too.
That's fair.
Yeah. I didn't really understand everything, but it's a strange atmospheric world. I enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen Crimes of the Future. I've only seen a handful of Cronenberg's movies: A History of Violence, Eastern Promises, and the one with Christoph Waltz. not Christoph Waltz, Christopher Walken. Why did I mix those names up in my head? I don't know.
The Dead Zone.
The Dead Zone. Thank you.
It's like, man, I thought I was a David Cronenberg fan. I don't remember Christoph.
No, Christopher Walken. I'm tired. It's been a
all
long day. I just finished watching Triangle of Sadness like 45 minutes before we did this. And I love all three of those movies. So I should see more Cronenberg, but we alluded to it with The Substance. Body horror, not my genre of horror. It's just not. It takes a lot for me to really like a body horror movie. But The Thing is my favorite horror movie, so what the fuck am I saying? I don't know. Any other ones? I don't have any other ones that I've seen.
If there's a Koreeda movie on there, you can probably assume that I've seen it. Broker. It's just another one of those Koreeda, those emotions really like just creep up on you at the end. Like I feel like a lot of his, very similar to Monster. I really like his humanistic approach to life and just seeing these characters, like they feel very real. Like this look at abandonment and found family was really, really sweet. And then, the only thing about it is that there's this detective plot that I really felt like was in a different movie. It kind of messed with the pacing a little bit, but like I still really enjoy just Koreeda style.
This is fair.
Yeah. Jack,
the chat's really giving you a hard time today, Jack.
Jack, you would love Koreeda just generally. So
yes.
And I think Dylan, you would too.
Yeah, I actually seen half of Broker. I really liked what I saw, but I fucked up and forgot to watch the rest because I was getting sleepy when I watched it, and I rented it, so the rental period ran out. So I still haven't watched the rest of the movie yet, but I want to finish it because I really liked what I saw. So yeah,
that's fair. I'm gonna quickly go into here to see if I've accidentally banned. Nope, no guests have been banned. Payson was just on timeout, I guess. The chat.
It's like you banned our 1 out of 2.
I did not ban him. I clicked the timeout button and it said the Cinemaster was banned and their comments were removed. I'm like, oh well, fuck. Okay. I looked in the settings and it doesn't look like he's banned.
Slice our viewership in half.
Yeah, no. We've got 4 people watching right now. We're doing well.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
But no. If that's it, then I think we can move on to our preview of the 2025 in competition slate because that's gonna be coming up in a week and a half or something like that, 2 weeks, and by the time our next show airs on June 7th, it'll be done. So let's take a look at the Palme d'Or in competition movie. Why would I right?
And I'll say let's try to be quick with this because we've been on for a while and I gotta go soon. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll be really quick. The rest of the jury has been announced for the main competition.
Ooh, let's hear
it. So Juliette Binoche, jury president. Then we've got Halle Berry, a Congolese filmmaker and producer who I am not sure. I know.
You should pronounce their name.
I really don't want to. I will butcher it. I will offend someone. I'm not going to do that. A Indian filmmaker who I do not know. A Mexican filmmaker, an Italian actress, Hong Sang-soo, a South Korean filmmaker whose name sounds familiar to me, a Moroccan writer, and Jeremy Strong.
So, Jeremy Strong.
Yeah. This is going to be a very eclectic jury. I'm very excited.
It's Alice Rohrwacher's sister, Alba, is the Italian actress.
Okay.
Fair enough. I did not know this. All right. So
that's a last name I know, but it's not very common. So
fair enough. We've got some movies from directors that have won the Palme d'Or before and a couple new ones. So let's go through some of these. We've got Alpha from Julia Ducournau, who I think is probably the favorite to win the Palme d'Or. for
Also, Neon,
like
right?
the 6th year in a row.
Neon's run is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I forgot to say we're in the neon era that we're currently covering on this show because it was all neon films today. But
Yeah, and 2/3 of the next episode are going to be neon movies.
yeah, they
I'm
just have the Cannes Film Festival in a chokehold, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is honestly the main reason I'm predicting Alpha to win the Palme d'Or.
Yeah.
Die My Love, the new Lynn Ramsey movie, Dossier 137, Eagles of the Republic, the new Ari Aster movie Eddington, Fiore, The History of Sound, It Was Just an Accident, The Little Sister, The Mastermind, Richard Linklater's new movie, which translates in English to New Wave.
It's the Breathless making.
Yeah, it's the making of
Breathless.
Which I should see Breathless. The Phoenician Scheme, Renoir,
Renoir.
Renoir, thank you. Ramiria, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value,
The new
Seurat, Sound of Falling, Two Prosecutors, Woman and Child, and The Young Mother's Home, which is by the brothers Dardenne, who have won the Palme d'Or twice. So yeah, out of those movies, any big ones that you're looking forward to? Any directors that you're looking forward to? Sorry, go ahead.
I'll say one of the obvious ones with Alpha. So I love Julia Ducournau. I think both of her films I'm a huge fan of. I love Raw. Titan is one of my favorite movies of the past decade. And yeah, Alpha, from what I've heard, sounds like completely different from what I'm used to her. So I'm very interested to see that one. Yeah, definitely Eddington, because it's Ari Aster teaming up with Joaquin Phoenix again. And I loved Beau is Afraid. So yeah, but I think the one that I'm actually most excited for is The Mastermind, because I'm a huge Kelly Reichardt fan, and I think that one sounds awesome. It's supposed to be like a heist film, basically, and it's got Josh O'Connor in it, who I already was glazing a ton for his performance in La Chimera, and yeah, I think he's one of the most exciting actors in Hollywood right now. So I'm very excited to see that one in particular.
That's fair. I'm looking forward to Sentimental Value. I've heard great things about The Worst Person in the World.
I love The Worst Person in the World.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about that movie. Obviously, you've got The Phoenician Scheme with Wes Anderson. Alex, you should watch that movie specifically, I guess. I don't know. Watch a Wes Anderson movie. Yeah, Eddington, which will be playing in August, I think. August, I think, is when it comes out. Last week of July, beginning of August. So I'm looking forward to watching that in theater. Adelaide, you're why do you keep bringing that word up? Dylan? I was on a delay. Fuck you for banning me. Fuck you for calling me a creep, motherfucker. The worst person in the world. Shout out to Jack. I am, in fact, the worst person in the world. Vladimir Putin ain't got shit on me. Anyway, I would love that movie. I've been told. Anyway, your next. Anything else? Die My Love. Yeah, Lynn Ramsey. Not a fan of the last Lynn Ramsey movie I saw, but
we need to talk about Kevin's Great though.
I haven't seen that, but I think I would like that movie. I was not a fan of You Were Never Really Here. You Were Never Really Here. I was about to say a different movie.
I love that.
Yeah, no, I was not a fan of You Were Never Really Here. To be fair, I haven't seen it since I was in high school, so I'm due for a rewatch. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited for this year's slate of movies. I really hope that we get one or two more additions in there. I'd love to see Father, Mother, Sister, Brother, and No Other Choice in there. Please, Ken, don't do this to us. Anyway,
one movie you guys haven't brought up, History of Sound. I'm excited for. Josh O'Connor, Paul Mescal, Gay Lovers.
Nice.
Fair enough.
I don't actually know if
That's
they're
all
gay.
you need to say.
I don't actually know if they're gay, but I mean, based on the actors, I'm like, maybe.
Maybe.
Here's hoping.
Don't fuck this up for us, Josh and Paul.
Yeah.
Anyway, Alex, you look confused.
No, it's just titles of movies that I have not seen yet and
That's a
will
good
not
point.
see for some time by directors who largely I also have not seen movies of. Yeah, I can't wait. I hope that everybody wins.
That's
I hope
fair.
everybody gets it like a second place and then one person gets a first place. That's how I hope it works out.
Awesome. Wait, I will not shut up about movie. And yes, they were good. Okay. Awesome. Well, with that, I'm excited to cover those movies in 2 years. But we are running on longer than I was expecting here, so
Yeah.
we'll sign off here. Join us next time for the next slate of movies of Titan, Parasite, and Shoplifters. That'll be on June 7th at 6 p.m. EST. Unless things change, we'll put an announcement out on the Facebook page or something like that. I don't know. But until then, June 7th, 6 EST. Thank you for watching Pod Door. I, on behalf of everyone on this panel, on behalf of Dylan, Alex, Matthew, myself, and Adelaide, thank you for watching. And yeah, see you next.
Jack, we're still live.
I'm still alive.